Okay, so the time is. See 30, we'll call to order. Roll call, please.
John Righeimer,
Here.
Stacy Hessel,
Here.
Tom Duffy, Steve Karayanen,
Here.
Randy Newman.
Here.
We have a quorum.
United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Certification of compliance with open meetings law.
This meeting was publicly posted in compliance with the open meetings law.
Thank you. The agenda is set. Number 6 is public comments. I have Linda Zomer.
Linda Zilmer, resident of the Village of Birchwood and Edgewater property owner. And I noticed that on this morning's agenda, you have the quarterly update from UW Extension, and it covers primarily what UW Extension staff have been doing here in this area. And some of you may or may not be aware, but especially UW Stevens Point Center for Land Use Education has been offering opportunities for county staff or county supervisors and town supervisors as well to take advantage of some webinars, and that it goes beyond this committee. So for instance, there was a groundwater protection seminar, and that would affect things like economic development. Groundwater is important for business. It's also the Land, Water, and Forest Resources Committee, as well as zoning. And there are a whole series of zoning webinars being put on now too. And so I hope if people have not been able to attend them when they were live, that you'll take advantage of watching them. They're available to view, and the handouts are there too. So there's a lot going on with Extension, and you'll only see a small part of it. Thank you.
Comment, anybody online? Not, we'll move on. Consider approval of minutes from the last meeting. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Anybody opposed? Okay. Number 8, Apostle Island National Park Letter of Support, discussion and possible action. Liz, do you have that up? Trying to get mine up on the computer.
Yeah, so the summary is that the Congress is trying to push the Apostle Islands to become a national park to promote more tourism, but I don't know why we would need to send a letter of support since it's not our county. But either way,
I think Andy, if I remember, Andy, thought there could be spillage over to us. So I don't know if they're looking for a letter of support. Sherry, do you know anything about this?
no, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just a federal request. And I'm sure they're just asking the counties around, but generally they've asked the state for support. So possibly Andy put it in just to show county support. But right now it's not listed as a national park, but the National Park Service maintains it. So it would make sense for it to become a national park. That's all that I know about it.
Well, I think I can only assume, but I'm going to say if I think Andy's looking for us to support him writing a letter or something like that, I guess. Okay.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead, Mr. King.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. So if that's what Andy wants to do, I think it's a good idea. Sawyer County Agricultural Fair and Association report. I don't see anybody here. I did not get a letter. Do you have anything? You're always the catch-all.
I know that they're working on the fair for August. That's all I know.
Okay, that's what I figured. Thank you. Number 10, University of Wisconsin Extension Department report. Good morning.
right. I know that Lynn included in the packet the quarterly report, so I won't go through all of those details for you, but I did want to make sure that you got it and wanted to try and answer any questions or any comments about it. It's a new format for us, so I thought I would just ask you if you needed anything else in addition to what was submitted for that. I also just want to highlight, of course, Donna is getting ready for camp. The camp counselors arrived today, so she won't be here for the winter library report as well. But she is busy because July is summer camp month in Sawyer County. So she says hello, and we'll be busy this week with that. So I know too that we received information from Andy, I think from you, saying, hey, can we make our reports a little bit more focused on economic development? And so I wanted to give a chance for Riga to do an update and also gather from you what it is that you would like. If you want us to still report monthly, if you want to move to quarterly, like the libraries, it looks different in every county for me. Some people don't even meet if there aren't any action items. So we'll certainly appreciate any feedback you want to give us as to how often you want us to report, because not everything we do, well, I guess it depends on how you define economic development, but some of the programming that we do doesn't touch on maybe the economic development part that you're looking for in specifically, but I know that Ariga's stuff does. So maybe after she does a little bit of information, if you want to just share with us what else you would like for us to be reporting, would be great.
Yeah, I think that's great. And it's not that, like, same with the libraries, not that we don't like libraries or like the extension report, but trying to get more focus on economic development for Sawyer County. And obviously, I guess you could trace what both of you do, everything you do somewhat ties to economic development, close or far, but I guess be more of the closer things. I mean, the thing that I thought about was really impactful was some months ago, somebody from the extension gave a financial report on the trends of where the county's going, the age trend and job trends and things like that. So that's probably the epitome, of what we're looking for, but obviously you can't have that all the time. So, and we want to be respectful of your time as well. I mean, not that we don't love seeing you, but if you think there's nothing urgent to report, I mean, if going quarterly, helps you, then that would be fine as well.
It may be a different rotation from the library, so you're,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, I
that
think
would
so.
make sense.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. Any other comments from the committee or thoughts?
All right. I'll have Ariga
Okay, thank you.
information. Thank you.
Perfect.
Good morning. I am Ariga Grigorian with UW Extension, and I focus on community development. So economic development is part of community development, and part of my position also involves natural resource programs. I don't focus a lot on natural resource programs, but I focus on agriculture, local foods and agriculture. We kind of work with our ag agent, who is specializing typically in how to grow plants, okay? If there is a disease, he has the technical knowledge. For me, would be more of the organizational development. How do our farmers markets function? How do our local foods chain function? What is it that we can do to bring our local producers, growers, and create the markets for them? Not only the markets, but also create opportunities for them, create that access for our residents, local residents primarily. I focus to access those local foods. And of course, some of those programs have a lot of financial support from federal government. So there's a lot of grants available, and that's part of my position as well. I found it more helpful to support through grant funding. If there is a local farmers market or local organization that would like to have certain funds, we kind of research that. I do, and we kind of write those together. I used to partner a lot with LCO. They focused a lot on local food sovereignty programs. They had a agricultural research station that would bring quite a bit of funds into the county and focus on programs like they did study on hemp production, but also is it economically feasible? So I was part of that application and they received the grant. It's just one of those, but there are many. And I don't have partnerships right now. LCO College is going through some restructure, and it would make sense to partner a lot with educational institution because UW is an educational institution, and my programs are kind of have that umbrella, educational umbrella. From what Lori explained, that it's not typical economic development where I would go and search for organizations or businesses to come into the county, but would help facilitate that process. Like you mentioned, a colleague of mine, Matt Cures, who talked about the population kind of feel what the trends are, you know, what the research shows, how can we navigate through those strategies in a smart way, okay, and be prepared to those processes that bring change. So pretty much local foods is what I focus on. I help a lot with funds, grant funding. If there is anything, I always have a pulse on some programs, especially egg on programs to help assist with bringing some money here. And then organizational development. That would involve like strategic plan. Last year we had a Spider Lake, I think it was a community needs assessment. They requested, so I partnered with a colleague of mine from local government center. We did the survey, we administered, so we helped the township to kind of get their needs updated and understand what the community trends are. And that would help them with decision making and how to navigate based on what information they received from their residents. We have a request right now. There was one from Round Lake, and I think there is one from, I think, Draper, if I'm not mistaken. So we're working on that relationship and trying to see what the township wants to do so we can partner with the right person in the state and help us navigate through some of those township, I don't want to say challenges, but of course, you know, things happen. So especially with second homeowners, with ATVs, and those are like really hot topics in the state, not only in Sawyer County, but how do we navigate through those smartly? So, and some of my program have a lot of educational, like if I teach a strategic plan, a course, or if I teach grant writing course, which we used to do twice a year through the LCO College, I would have like the participation numbers. And now I'm going back. We taught that course maybe 4 years, 5. I have to evaluate, did people use those skills? So part of our work is also to evaluate our work, okay? What was the impact? So I have to prepare to do that in fall. Go back to all those 5 years, the students that took the class, the students meaning, you know, it's not a student classroom, it's just residents who want to build a skill, local organizations. Did they receive funding? So kind of feel that ripple effect and document that. So research is a lot of what we do. It's part of if it's part of my job, part of my position. So if you guys have any questions, and again, depends, it's an ongoing programming usually. I might have requests for the past 2 months, let's say if it were a strategic plan, then those are still ongoing. So I don't know, but I can always update on some of the, if you're looking for trends, then Matt Cures would be a colleague of mine, and he usually has a pulse on what the changes are. We can bring those specialists here and help kind of with numbers, and they specialize in that. That's a lab, so they have a pulse on what the population, special demographics changes are in small townships, in small counties.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
How well do you think, I guess in this case, Sawyer County, whether it be the townships or the businesses, are aware of your
Programs.
assistance? And if, I guess if they're all aware, it's fine. If not, how do we make people better aware?
That's true. Outreach is a big accessing our local residents. So I partner a lot with Wisconsin Towns Association. I go there. They have quarterly meetings. Cassie Overman, who is a great colleague of mine and also friend, she asks me to come, and I have presentations once in a while. Recently, I had on grants writing, so I have always the opportunity to come and, especially in small towns, say this is what I do, strategic plan, or if there is any programming, let's say professional development, real colors, if there's a conflict in local organization and people want to resolve the conflict and bring more of that staff development. So we have those trainings where certified facilitators, we kind of address those needs as well. Anything that is related with an organization and education, this is what UW does. And then once we have, so this is how I look. If we have a healthy organization or local governments or nonprofits, we have healthy, we have healthy economic development. We have more people who would like to be employed. So it's a healthier workforce. It's a happier organization. So we kind of target the core issues as well in organizations. And if there is any training that is needed that we don't have here in Sawyer County, we have colleagues who are certified and can come address those. So I reach out, and I'm happy to, I usually contact Chamber Economic Development Corporation. We partner as well, so people know about that program.
Good, sounds like it's well known then.
And I also want to let you know that I was invited for a professional development opportunity to do an international work in August for 2 weeks, and that would help me to learn certain skill and apply. It's better apply somewhere else and then get better skill to work here with local residents. So it's targeting more on how to develop a process that an agricultural product would be exported. So those processes involve, let's say, US has FSMA. It's a Food Safety Act, Food Safety FSMA, Agricultural Act. So Food Safety and Agricultural Act, basically it's making sure that if you're going to export or sell a product, and actually in US it exceeds more than $5,000, you can go through the process and make sure that your product is not contaminated. There is no chicken coop around it, and there were no other contaminants. You were using normal irrigation water. You were not using contaminated. So those processes, so this will help me learn about the processes and kind of apply those skills internationally. And I just wanted to let you know today about that opportunity.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Lakes Visitors Convention Bureau, Sherry.
Good morning. So I think you guys got these numbers earlier last month. They were released from the Department of Tourism, but I thought I'd kind of go over them. The thing that I find very interesting is that because of tourism, $660 are saved in property taxes per household. So I always got to remember that. And then I just wanted to touch, and it was another record-breaking year.
Can I just clarify that? I think, because you said that some years back, it was like, so it looks like it's gone up a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's good.
Mhm.
So again, that means because of the tourism and the money that it generates,
Mhm.
if it wasn't here for the same services, taxpayers would be paying $660
Right.
extra.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
So anyway, it was another record-breaking year, which we're very excited about. But then I kind of wanted to dip a little bit on room tax. So the town of Hunter's room tax was increased. This was for the year 2023. So it's always kind of like 6 months behind. The town of Bass Lake started collecting in 2021, and it increased slightly in the last year. The town of Round Lake, which started collecting in 2022, showed the largest increase of 19%. The town of Hayward's room tax collection increased about 3.8%. let's see. Now, the only thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, even though it's awesome, we had a great 2023. You guys know we just went through an insane winter. So first quarter room tax was way down. The average was about 30% for all 4 of the room tax municipalities that we collect from. With the town of Hunter showing 43% less. So just so we brace ourselves a little bit for next year. And then I kind of showed how we spend the room tax dollars, and I just put it in a graph so you can kind of glance to see what we spend the most on and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys had any questions on room tax. So, and I also wanted to announce today is my last meeting with you guys. I have decided to retire. And Mindy Simons, our assistant director, she's been the assistant director for 2 years. She's been with us for, just started her 4th year. We're leaving everything in good hands. I don't know if Mindy, you can see Mindy back there. So she will be here next month and reporting on behalf of Hayward Lakes.
Well, welcome, Mindy. Cher, we're going to miss you. This is happy for you, but
Yes.
we'll miss you. You've done a great job, and thank you very, very much for all your reports and your enthusiasm and minding the ship. And Mindy, we look forward to working with you.
I can't imagine Hayward Lakes without you, so thank you for all your work.
Gosh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
What plans do you have for retirement?
I'm gonna sit on the lake and float and play with my grandbabies.
Number 12, Northwest Regional Planning Commission report. Nothing online? Okay. 13, Economic Development Corporation report.
All right, good morning. Adam Lamori, Sawyer County LCO Economic Development Corporation Executive Director. Finally introduced myself. Are you impressed?
Very impressive.
All right, I did it. It's like 6 months. So today is kind of a big day for us. We are opening up our incubator for small businesses in Sawyer County. We are going to be housed, our home is going to be LCO University. We'll be open Monday, Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. So the hours are not long, but we are going to try to do some flexible scheduling. So meet with people whenever they can meet with us. What we're going to offer is business plan writing, marketing assistance, and then if we find a need for a specific area, I'll look for that technical assistance. So that is the plan starting out. That's open to any Sawyer County resident. And like I said, we can be mobile with that. So we're pretty excited to see what happens and see what types of small businesses we can start in Sawyer County. And I don't know if you remember, one of the reasons we really wanted to have an incubator, and by the way, we're not really calling it an incubator. I am. I don't know if everyone knows what that would be. So we just called it business coaching to be as self-explanatory as possible. And that's what we're going to offer. But one of the reasons that this was pushed as much as it was is we have an aging population of business owners in Sawyer County. And so we thought, well, what a great idea is to start some people earlier possibly in life, starting these businesses so that there's someone to buy these businesses when they come for sale. That's just one of the reasons for it. So that's what we have going on starting now. That project is fully funded by our Thrive grant. So we have 2 years of free services that we can provide. So we have that. Also, Sawyer County LCO Economic Development Corporation is going to be partnering with LCO University to put on the tribal toolbox. That's going to be August 1st. So we are working and coordinating. I am working and coordinating with them to put that on. So we have that opportunity, and that'll be August 1st from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And you're all welcome. I'm also working with Northspan Group to bring non-traditional lenders forum to Sawyer County. So we will be putting that project on at the end of August. The location is still to be determined, but I'm working with Northspan Group to come up with a group of, they basically come with the alternative financing. And what happens is a lot of times we find that, for example, small businesses want to start up, but they don't necessarily have the, let's just say the 20% down to start a business. So these are going to be some alternative options for them to get a business loan to start up. And then that also combines with our incubator. It basically leads right into that. So we'll be doing that at the end of August. Lastly, on my list of things is one of the things that we want to do is highlight our new businesses in Sawyer County. The business we'll be highlighting on July 18th at 5 p.m. is going to be Timber Marine Services. They're going to do a grand opening with anyone from Sawyer County. We're looking for as much participation as possible to take tours. They're going to do some free giveaways. There's going to be beverages and some light snacks available. So we're going to be there at 5 o'clock to about 6:30. And we have more businesses that we're going to highlight coming up as well. So that's going to be kind of exciting, and it's going to be fun to meet with. It's kind of a collaboration thing too, and a social thing with other area businesses. So that's going to be coming up in about a week, August 8th or July 18th. So our housing committee also met for Sawyer County, and we met with an outside contractor to look at some of their building options, what they've done in other cities, what parcels of land would work in Sawyer County. So that's also in the works. We've been going back and forth, and I guess we'll find out when they do their study, feasibility study, what they think. So we'll see what happens on the housing front. Yes, you may.
Thank you. How can we help you get the word out on these programs? I know you do social media. Do you put anything in the paper? How do people,
Yeah,
potential business owners, contact you?
So I have a meeting coming up with Frank from the paper. We're going to do another story. But I'm going to be sharing all of this with the specific entities, Hayward Chamber, Visitors Bureau, LCO University, and if the county can share it, that'd be awesome. But definitely through the paper. And if you think of anything else, I guess.
I say thank you, Adam, and your reports get more interesting, and it just seems like you're getting your footing more and more each month. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Library updates.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ann Larson, the Assistant Director at the Sherman and Ruth Royce Community Library, and I'm pleased to share with you some exciting updates and achievements from our library over the past months. I know Molly gave you a listing, and I've given you some more paperwork today. Some of the guest speaker highlights: at the beginning of the month, we had the privilege of hosting Michael Dombeck, a renowned conservationist and former leader of the Bureau of Land Management and U.S. Forest Service. He discussed the evolving relationship between people and the land over decades and emphasized the importance of responsible land stewardship today. We have continuing community engagement programs, including our Hello Tech program. Excuse me, sorry. Our Hello Tech, which happens on every first Monday of the month. And what that is to assist community members with technical issues, reinforcing our commitment to digital literacy and support. We also continue to offer free hotspots to library card holders. They are always checked out. We also, our study rooms this summer, it's been phenomenal how much they are booked up. And I'm always scrambling to try to find a quiet space for someone. It's amazing how many people just even like our patio because we have the Wi-Fi. We have an upcoming event on July 23rd. Tom Holden's going to share insights on Lake Superior shipwrecks, offering a fascinating exploration of local maritime history. He's a retired director of the Lake Superior with the ships. Also, our future programming in September, we look forward to Mel Bauman presentation. He's a former professor at U of M in Minneapolis, and he's going to be talking about hiking in Nevada and Utah backcountry. And then we're also going to have Allison John Jack's talk on growing cranberries in the area. Let's see. We were recognized in a Small Town Plus Facebook post as a highlight for visitors to Hayward, showcasing its integral role in community life. We continue to foster dry mouth today, sorry. We continue to foster partnerships, including with KITS, that's Kids Interactive Tools for Success, the Cable Natural History Museum, U.S. Forest Service, Sawyer County 4-H UW Extension, Hayward Chamber of Commerce to enrich our programming. On a personal note, I'm honored to receive a $200 award from author James Patterson. He awarded 250 librarians in the U.S., and I received it for my work as a librarian and in developing impactful programming for our community. Also, with the Muskie Fest Parade, you guys saw that Molly's was elected as Grand Marshal, reflects the community's appreciation for our library's contribution to local cultural events. And I also gave you our quarterly numbers, and you see that the numbers look to be on track and even higher than last year. So in conclusion, the library remains dedicated to enhancing community engagement, fostering lifelong learning, and celebrating our local heritage through diverse and engaging programming. Anybody have any questions? Well, thank you for letting me talk today.
Can I just say that I love the artwork the high schoolers did in your back lot. It looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about the dry mouth.
That's all right. Thank you very much. And next is the motorized trail and non-motorized trail report. I'll do the motorized and then Tom, I'll switch it to you for the.
Thank you. It's tough to talk about snow in July unless you're a Brookie nut. But registrations for the Brookie coming on is already exceeded 7,500 skiers. And it's important every year that if your race is canceled, you find the following years, there's a lack of registration numbers. But the Brookie was held last year, so our numbers are strong. We're striving to hit 15,000, and they're well on the way to do that. The Brookie is excited because Ben Popp has been named as the president of the World Lopet Association. And the World Lopet Association is the most prestigious ski races in the world. And there are 20 of them. And every year they elect a president for 2 years. And the last president from the US was Tony Wise, the first president. So Ben is the president of those 20 races. The first race of the year is the Kangaroo Hoppet, held last weekend in August. So they ski year round. The Brookline also runs the Lumberjack Festival, and they have done some work down there. The event is coming on. They're having a performance again by Charles Behrens, who was here 2 years ago at a sold-off performance. And those tickets are going strong for this year on the Wednesday between the events. The Lumberjack also have a 5K run walk. That registration for that is now open if any of you want to get involved.
That's called change.
And I think that's kind of all I have to report. So,
On the bike trails, do they have numbering systems like we do on the ATV trails? Do they have a tracking system to see how many people use the bike trails?
for biking,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
they
for
have
biking.
that. I don't have it in front of me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm just wondering if that's something that they could
But the
report
trails
on.
are well used in the summer. They're groomed and cut and so you can walk. And now they're coming well on the telemark project also, where there's going to be shooting for those who want to ski and shoot. What do you call that?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Pentathlon.
pentathlon, yeah. So we'll report more fully on that next month.
Is
That would be
that,
great.
is that project at Telemark, the trailhead, is that complete, that building?
No, but it's well along. It's up, but the interior is not complete.
And that's
So we'll-
compared to the one double O is like triple the size, looks pretty
Triple the
big.
size, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll have next month, we'll have pictures and show you the whole thing and then there's a grand opening in August. So we all will be invited to come to it.
Awesome.
So that's kind of it. So if you want to get involved in Ski to Berkey, registration's open.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, thanks.
Kathy LaRue could not be here, so she sent me a report though, so I'll read her report. She said it was extremely busy week for ATVers in Sawyer County this 4th of July holiday. Without doing any research yet, I project that we had a record attendance, not just with motorized sports folks, but with tourism in general. One of the trail counters we have on the Tuscobia Trail near Birchwood counted 1,000 machines in 3 days' time. The other trail counters haven't been read yet, but suspect high numbers as well. There is an increase in organized rides throughout the county in Northwest Wisconsin. Both clubs and individuals post these events on social media. These rides are becoming a popular way for those from different areas to explore the new trails and areas with a guide. Visiting riders often stay overnight wherever these rides are based and drop a lot of money into the local economy. Another benefit is that they are usually led by locals familiar with the trails and routes in their area, so visiting riders don't have to worry about getting lost or driving in areas not allowed. 2 areas that we're working on, figuring out how to manage the influx of tourist riders so we can keep them informed about our area and what we expect and what we still plan to clarify some of the newly opened county roads with additional signage. And that's her report. Any questions? Not that I could answer them, but maybe I could. 16,
How about the side-by-sides? That is, any problem with opening all the roads or people are happy with that or?
I have not heard good or bad on that personally, so I don't know.
Yeah.
16 is broadband updates, but Andy is not here. Oh, there he is. Andy, you're up. Broadband update.
Good morning. Yeah, sorry, I had to juggle a couple of meetings this morning. Not too much to talk about on broadband. Just I've had a meeting with Norvado just to kind of catch up as to where they're at and what their plans are going ahead. Nothing to really report on. And I have a similar meeting with Mosaic coming up. So other than that, no broadband updates.
Is there a time when we expect the whole county to be covered with broadband? I mean, is there a?
Did you hear the question, Andy?
I did. I don't know if I have a timeline. I think like the profile with all of our current projects will be down to about, I believe it's 5,000 locations. And a lot of, all 5,000 of those will be eligible for the BEAD funding. So we hope that the providers are going to take advantage of the BEAD funding to pick up the remaining locations.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I just echo the one comment is that there's just going to be, I don't know how many, but there's going to be a certain number of those locations that are going to be hard to service. And they're going to have to probably use satellite or some type of wireless broadband because it's unlikely that they're going to get a wired connection, like a fiber connection, just because of their location and it's not cost effective to reach some of those homes or businesses that are remote, I guess I'd say.
Right. I'm personally in one of those areas. I'm a proponent of Starlink. It's been a life changer for us, so.
Mhm.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks.
Outside committee reports, I look to Steve for that.
Yes, thanks, John. On the 24th of June, that was shortly after our last full board meeting, I attended an Indian Head Community Action Agency Board of Directors meeting in Ladysmith. Learned a little bit about the group, learned there's a lot of, acronyms I'm not familiar with yet, and a lot of new people I need to learn more about what they're all doing. And in conjunction with that, I will be in the next couple of weeks having an orientation meeting, kind of get more in depth of all the programs they have and the money flows and the people and projects and all that. So stay tuned. And then on June 27th, the Northwest Wisconsin STEP Board voted to authorize SEP to enter into a loan agreement for a $100,000 line of credit with Northern State Bank to get them through their short-term financial crisis here. But again, stay tuned because we'll see how the financings go because there's some dark clouds on the horizon there, I guess, in terms of,
Okay.
Keeping that thing afloat.
Right.
So.
Understood. I
Do
appreciate it. Appreciate you going to those meetings.
we appoint Steve to represent us, or you just doing this voluntarily?
No, I've been appointed.
He's even put those, what do you call them? Subcommittees of subcommittees, yeah.
Okay.
Doing a great job. Thanks.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I could add on to Steve's report on SEP. So they did secure that line of credit through the bank, but they're still requesting financial assistance from the 10 member counties. And so at next week's finance and admin, we do have this week's admin and finance committees, we do have the request on there for a $5,000 short-term loan that some of the counties have approved it, some are still considering it, but it would give them some operating capital to, make it through the, hopefully what's a short-term financial issue they have.
Thank you. Historical Society.
Well, we are in our busiest time of the year now. We're open 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We've got the Lumberjack Show coming up. We park cars for that, so we're really busy then. We've added a few display things. We have an old wagon out in the bunkhouse now. No box, just the 4 wheels and the frame, and we're going to build a fence around our logging sled out front. This month is our quarterly meeting. It'll be held in conjunction with the Stone Lake Historical Society at the Fire Hall in Stone Lake, and John Detloff will be our speaker. We are planning for this winter to work on a new display down in our basement. We want to take one room and dedicate it to the gangsters in the area, plus all of the major crimes that took place here, including we have some bars from the original jail here. We want to put a display up there like you could get your picture taken behind it like you're in the Hayward jail. And so that's what we're hoping to work on this winter. We have had one large group a couple weeks ago, 18 people or so, that were camping out at the flowage. This week, Water's Edge is coming with a group. So we are pretty busy. Our fundraising for the project at the library is over. The needed funds were raised. So,
What state do most of those gangsters come from back in the day?
pardon?
What state did those gangsters come from? Most of them?
Illinois, but there were,
Thank you.
yeah. That- No.
Right, hopefully no county board members in the past on that list.
Okay, no. But that's about all we have for now.
Thank you.
Okay,
Doing a good job. Thank you. Any
How do they raise their money?
They do it.
parking donations?
And then they did an online fundraiser where you could donate online. Yep. Can we go out there for a tour sometime, like as our group? I mean, I'm just asking like if you would encourage that.
Oh, I think that'd be great. I mean, I think history is a good thing and they seem to be getting better and better. So yeah, I would encourage that. Maybe it's a future agenda item
Or we just go on Friday.
or we just, are there any future agenda items to be mentioned? Any other correspondence, reports from conferences or meetings?
Mr. Chair, I just want to drop in one thing here. I'm assuming under number, it's not really a report. I just want to go back to number 11 since I missed it. I'm assuming that during the report from the Hayward VCB that Sherry might have mentioned that she's retiring later this month.
Correct.
So on the board agenda, there'll be an appointment for Mindy Simons to take Sherry's place on our regional tourism groups that we have her appointed to.
For the next, this next meeting next month?
Yep, this
Okay.
county board meeting. I have that appointment on there for Mindy to take Sherry's spot. And I just wanted to thank Sherry for her work. I've known Sherry for a long time, and she's done a great job of representing Hayward at the state and regional levels and connecting us with those tourism organizations.
I second that. Yeah.
Can we just vote no? She can't retire.
You can try.
Yeah. Thanks again, Sherry and Mindy. We're looking forward. We know Sherry would not leave us in bad hands, so happy for Sherry and excited for you. All right, nothing else. Meeting adjourned.